Good evening. My name is Sophia Alexander, and I'm here today because my undocumented friends can't be here. Elected officials have a duty to represent and protect members of the communities they serve and to quell the passions and angers of those who are misinformed, to educate and lead rather than divide communities. Since that isn't what's happening today, and since the targets of this measure can't be here to speak for themselves, I'd like to share some facts about so-called illegal immigrants. According to the Cato Institute, a conservative research group funded by the Koch brothers, undocumented immigrants commit crimes at rates far below that of U.S. citizens. Here's another fact. There is universal consensus among economists that immigrants in America have a net positive increase on wages in our country. To restate that, we all earn more money when immigrants come here. In fact, the only thing economists disagree on regarding that fact is how much the increase is. As for the idea that the federal government needs help from cities to sue California, that is an idea that is deeply antithetical to the idea of our country and our Constitution. Specifically, James Madison wrote in Federalist number 46 that if the federal government, President Trump's administration in this case, were to pass an unwarrantable measure unpopular in particular states, the means of opposition are powerful and at hand for the states to resist the federal government. Specifically, Madison enumerated the ability of states to refuse to cooperate with the officers of the federal government. Madison precisely described California's SB 54, the primary purpose of which is to deny the resources of the state to ICE and deportation authorities. All that means is they have to pay for their own deportation efforts. When did conservatives become such fans of the federal government? What happened to states' rights? What is truly sad is that tonight I have had to justify the rights and humanity of my friends in economic and legal terms. On that note, I'd like to say that if people say this isn't racist, the overwhelmingly European and white immigrants that passed through Ellis Island did so largely unscrutinized by the law and faced a wait time of essentially nothing. They were largely poor and uneducated, and many were criminals. Today, they would not be allowed in. Before you complain about others committing the low-level and nonviolent crime of illegal entry, remember that restrictions on immigration didn't begin until brown people started coming here, and that they were created during the same period of time as the rise of Jim Crow, the birth of the KKK, and when eugenics was considered a real science. These policies are and always have been racist. The reason people have come to our country is because they often face dangers and economic desperation most Americans could barely comprehend and in which our country is often complicit. The only effects of this policy is to divide communities, to play politics of hate, and increase ignorance on this issue. To pick on people who can't fight back, by definition, is bullying. Don't be bullies.